afternoon on this beautiful day. Are you going to say good afternoon? Oh, but Goosey is. Anyway, this afternoon I have a mission and I will show you what the mission is. It's an exciting one and we've been kind of building up to this, but I am now ready to go ahead with it. Mission is to get this new hive down to my new colony, which are in the small nuke that I would have showed you down in the bottom field. I'm going to try and get this down and get set up and get them into their new house. Yellow isn't my colour, yellow is Rob's colour. However, here he is himself. When I was buying the paint I thought, you know what, yellow's quite nice actually. And it's kind of summery. And they'll be able to see, oh, that goes with Rob's pants. And they'll be able to see where their house is quite easily. So I'll show you the parts. This is actually just the small door. We won't need that till the winter. This is the floor, which is a mesh floor. I'm going to leave it as a mesh floor, and I'm possibly going to leave it a mesh floor for the winter. I did go about changing my last hive to a solid floor, and I found it got quite damp. So we're going to leave that the way it is. Hello, Clem, you big bear. You good girl. You come to help me with the hive? Yeah, you give everybody a little smile. So here's my brood box, and I have 5 frames in here because I have 5 frames that are coming out of the nuke, which are going to sit in the middle, and this is my roof. So I might have to carry them down bit by bit and set it up down there, then get my bee suit on and get organized. Right, feed sorted, time to put on my suit. And I'm in a bit of a rush now because I need to go and collect the guys. And I like to have a dinner made before I leave, but that may not be happening today. This colony, this old queen, I feel quite I have a soft spot for her, and she just produces the quietest colonies. So you could probably get away with doing this with just a pair of gloves, but I always think we're tempting fate when we do that, so I'll kit up anyway. I have been giving her feed without any suit on and opening up the hive, and I never have anybody come after me, but you never know, especially with getting them to go into a new house. So we're off. You ready, Roo? Rooney sees me in my suit and she's like, okay, I won't be coming. Will you, Roo? No, I've got a feeling not. I'm just going to take my watch, as I am under pressure for time here. Okay, so I have everything gone down. Just gonna take this box down, this super box. It's empty. Normally this super would be full of frames so that we can collect honey, but I'm going to use it as a feeder today. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Off we go. So here we go. A hive activity here. So they really do need to move house into a bigger house. Lay everything out. So this is the feeder. This is the feeder that comes with the nuke. It's super handy. I don't know if you can see in here, but this is crammed full with bees in here. And they had this 2 days ago, so they have drunk 1 litre in 2 days. So there's a lot of activity in this hive. What I might do is I might just lift this to the side and then put the new hive in its place. Jesus, actually quite heavy. Floor in. So what I want to do is take out the 5 here and put it straight into the new hive. I'm going to take the top off the feeder first, and then you'll see what I mean by the 5 frames. So a lot of them are all in here. You see them all, because this was where I had the feed, and they're all in here, wondering if there's any more feed coming, because of course that was the usual routine when I came down. So I'm just going to put them over there. No, gosh, it is so heavy, super heavy. So I'm just going to very carefully put those in here. I did find that I had a lot of squashed bees when I was putting the feeder back on, which isn't really a good thing, but there isn't much I can do about it. So the first frame will be just feed stores for them, and as we move into the center then we'll see the brood. Now, so that's it. This is honey, full frame of honey, and they're building out this side as well. So what I want to do is put them in as carefully as possible without dropping anybody into their new box. Quite a lot of drone brood there, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove that extra comb at the bottom, because that's going to cause me problems when I'm taking out the frames in the future. Yeah, so as you can see, I can see already looking down, we've got a lot of extra comb being built on the ends of these, which means they're looking for space. I'm just going to remove that. I'll put it there so everybody can climb back in. And I can see an egg in each empty cell, which is great. Ends up being a lot of extra comb at the end of the hive, which we don't need. Not seeing the queen, but that doesn't mean she's not in here somewhere. A frame of stores to go on the back side. Now, I'm short a frame, so of course I remember there are only 11 frames, not 10. So I'm going to run up and get one. So it does look like we've got an awful lot on the bottom here. So she's quite possibly in this gang here at the bottom. I'm going to leave that here. So if you see down here, that was actually a bit of a rookie move, leaving the end of the nuke on the grass. It's quite possible that the queen could be in that lot. So I'm going to have to keep a really close eye on this hive tonight, just to make sure that all of these go in. As you know, my queen is marked and clipped, and she will not be able to get in from here. So, but they will show me, because they will make a ball around her to mind her. So I'm going to run up and just get that extra frame very quickly, so that I can get this sorted. Back with my spare frame. This is where things wrong. Alright, we're there. So I thought they were congregating under here because maybe the Queen was there, but I don't see her there. However, doesn't mean she's not. So I'm kind of hoping she's gone in. But they're very attracted, or they're very attached to their old box. So I'm going to leave the old box next to it. Super on. So no, I didn't find the Queen. However, I do think she's inside, so I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to leave this box here until they've all gone in home, into their new home. This reminds me just how quickly the grass grows here, so we'll have to get the old strimmer out, tidy it up a bit. But anyway, they should all go in okay to their new home. I might leave this here. I have brought down the big door just because I was worried about wasps. Sometimes when it's a weak colony like this, you get them attacked by wasps. So I'm going to leave the door here so that if I do need to use it, I can whip it on. Last year I did have an incident where the wasps were starting to fight them at the door, but the door is too big, so they can't defend it. So at least by putting on the small door, you can make the entrance smaller, and so less chance of anybody attacking or getting into the hive. Yeah, so they're quite upset now, but look, that's the new hive and the new colony in position. I will come down tonight just to check that everybody has come up from the grass and that there's nobody hanging around in the ball anywhere, because that's a sign of a queen. But they should be okay. They'll work themselves out. Another amazing day. I just want to share with you a little bit of what's going on with our two-legged creatures at the moment. A few funny things going on, and I'll just share them with you. We're all just after our breakfast and we are waiting to be released. Are we? Yes? You want to go out? Yes? Yes! So I'll just let them out and then I'll show you what's been going on in this pen. So the ducks started laying about a week ago, and I'll just show you the difference between the ducks and the chickens laying. We're gonna look in here now. It might be a bit stinky, but it's just so different. So, oh man, I see 3 anyway. Oh, 5. So the ducks lay everywhere and anywhere. In fact, I found one in their water bowl. They have to have water at night, so I leave this in. I don't fill it to the top, otherwise there's like a shower has gone on in here. But they should always have water at night, so I just half fill it, and it's enough for them to get their heads, submerge their heads inside it. Great idea, actually. That was online, and I've been doing that with them since they were ducklings. But here we go. So somebody online suggested putting golf balls in a little nest box, and maybe they would all go there, because at the start I was worried that they were actually going out into the garden and laying in the pond area. I'm not sure if they were or not. Again, it's only been maybe a fortnight now since they've been laying, but it is much better now. We've 6 ducks, so I have 5 eggs in here. So as it is now, I've one is missing. So I'll just get my bucket to put the eggs into. One. And actually, funny enough, they're not even that dirty today. But normally, they're absolutely mucky, and you can't wash them. You just have to sort of wipe them with a dry cloth. But anyway, so I'm just trying to keep them all laying in one place, and clearly we have one still laying somewhere. They stay in this pen till about 10 in the morning, so they have ample time to come back in and lay if they wanted to. But I'll just show you how different the chickens are. That's the duck house. To give them a clean out in a minute. Now girls, because you're all very organised, aren't you? And very tidy. So this is the chicken house. Oh, would you look at that now? So in the chicken house, the chickens always lay theirs in this nest box. They never go in this one, or rarely, and they never go on the floor like the ducks, do you? No, you're very tidy chickens. Very tidy chickens. Yes. So we've 5 chickens, and I know that's not a chicken egg. So one of the ducks has come in laid in here. Look, I don't mind that happening, but it'd be nice to have them all lay in the one place. But however, that's great, because that means I have 6 duck eggs. Now that also means that we've got 1 chicken who hasn't laid yet, and that actually happens quite a lot. That one of them doesn't lay until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I usually end up having to leave the eggs quite late. But it's just the difference between the two. The duck house is such a mucky house and full of... Okay, Rinny, you can take your head out of it now. Rinny, out of the bucket. Rinny likes an egg, don't you? Yeah, you like an old fried egg every now and again. Update on the house, actually. They are perching. Finally! They are perching. But there's only enough perch for 4. So, and we have 5. So, 1 has to sit on the ground. But look, it's a whole lot better than it was. They only perch on this one. This is way too high. Possibly a little bit too ambitious. And these. But anyway, look, it's much better situation than we had at the start. Isn't it? You're happy, Chug Chugs? Right, we're going to close the door. Maru, out. Oh, don't be eating that bit of string, Goosey. And then the goosies don't have an automatic door. We haven't bothered yet to do that. I don't know if we will. So the automatic doors are on this side, the chickens and the ducks, and that works really well at night. But we would have to put a hole in the door here, hole in the wall here, to make a goose one, and we haven't done that yet. I've been coming out and they're very, very good. They literally just walk into their house themselves. This is their house, and they need water at night as well. So they have the same setup with the water that the ducks have. Now, I might leave that open actually, just to let it air. Surprisingly, their house is not so mucky this morning. So, we better do a clean out, had we, guys? Had we better do a clean out? Yeah? Hey, Mav? Yeah. The geese are very tame and very... excuse me, that's my hand. Yeah, I don't know what you're pecking at. But they have become quite the pets. They're about 12, maybe 11 or 12 weeks old now. But the chickens are nosy little blighters, aren't you? You have to be into everybody else's house. So that's the chicken update and the egg update. And just if anybody has any other ideas about maybe getting the ducks to lay in their own house, and is it possible that you can get them to lay in a nest box, you can let me know. Obviously it's all huge learning curve. Never had ducks. Had ducks briefly when I was a child, but we had more chickens than anything else. So ducks are a new, and geese are a new thing for us. Give you a quick update on what's happening in the tunnel. Honestly thought we would have way more time for it this year, but again, just there's other things take priority, and I kind of start to wonder, will I ever have proper time to spend in here? But anyway, let me give you an update. My mum was down on Monday and she did an amazing job at tying these up and getting rid of the elbows. Just see one there. This is what we call the elbow, and that should be taken out. Let me see another one there. But I'm super happy with them. Gosh, it's really hot in here. What is it, 35? Yeah, 35. Let's open the other door. I'm super happy with the tomatoes. I suppose tomatoes are sort of my, what would you say, my go-to plant to do in here, because we were mega successful with them last year. But what's nice about most of these are heirloom plants, and so I know that I will be a bit more susceptible to disease and that, but they are looking good. That actually looks like a massive elbow. I'm going to get a knife actually to take that one off. Yeah, but no, they look pretty good. My watering system seems to be working. And the biggest and best thing about this year so far is I have had 0 slugs, and that's pretty amazing in itself. I've got all these peppers actually as well that need to go down the center. This mint needs to go outside, and I've got just a little bit of rocket coming up here just because I had a little space. These are cucumbers, by the way. Now, I lie, I haven't had slugs, but like there's definitely slugs around, but there just is nothing like the slugs that I used to have to come and pick off every night last year. So I see the ducks hanging around. Here they are in their very green pool. I see them clambering along here and getting out insects and things, and I think they are in fact taking most of the slugs, which is what they were meant to do. So it's absolutely unreal. Also, quick update here, these are growing well. This does look like it's had a bit of slug damage, but we'll hold out. And this one isn't looking too bad actually. And a bit dry, may have to water them, but they're growing nicely outside. And that was a bit of a test with the ducks and the slugs to see how things took off out here, especially as ducks do quite like young plants, so I have to be careful. So no, we're doing okay. Where are you off to? But they do love being in here, and I think they love being in here because there's obviously another fence around, so they feel like this is their little area. There's no dog, there's no goose, there's no hens to bully them, so they just love picking around in the grass. Let me show you, see if we can sneak up on them. What are you doing? Yeah, you picking all the slugs out? Yeah. Are you? Are you picking all the slugs out? Oh yeah, good job on the raspberries. Yeah. So they are very good. So that's the garden update, and we haven't started to pick potatoes yet. First earlies have flowered or are flowering, so I'm kind of waiting for them to finish flowering, and then I might start to pick those. It's been very hit and miss with potatoes. This obviously is a main crop just starting, so they're got a long way to go yet. But here, the 2 rows of purple potatoes didn't do as well as I had hoped. They were all Fruit Hill Farm, and the Vitanor seemed to have done very well at the other end, but then the Bluette here are quite poor, so I'm not sure why. And then here we have Vitabella, so 1/2 of those did really well, and this row did very well, but this is slow. So I also gave some of those to Dawn up in County Leitrim, so I must see how she's getting on with hers and whether mine are just starting to flower, so perhaps hers are starting to flower as well. And then this one was Kelly main crop. Again, kind of hit and miss, maybe they're all a bit too close together, I don't know. However, this time last year this was black with blight, so we have done better, definitely, in regards to the blight side of things. So that's definitely a plus. Have onions over here now, all going to seed. Rob actually pulled one and it was quite a nice size. So yeah, they're looking really good, and the garlic is looking really good. All could do with a really good strim, but look, we're getting there. So that's the update from the bees and ducks and the garden. And we'll see you next time. Slán go fóill a gcuireadh míle maith agat.